5 dumb mistakes that you're making when it comes to building muscle mass. When you look at building muscle mass, there's a lot of different myths that you're gonna see on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, or even Snapchat. And today we're gonna be going over 5 dumb mistakes that you wanna avoid. And I guarantee you're doing at least 2 of these. And at the end of the video, we'll be going over the only 5 things that you need to do that's gonna guarantee that you build more muscle mass, improve your physique, and get the physique that you want. The first one is gonna be a little bit more of a controversial one, and that's gonna be chasing the pump. When you look at going into the gym and getting a workout, the pump is important, but it's not the end all be all. Yes, the pump is good, right? It's a really, really good feeling, and trust me, nothing feels better than a bicep pump. And I think even Arnold said it, and don't get me wrong, having a pump in the gym is awesome. There's nothing like a bicep pump or a quad pump at the end of your workout. So a pump is important, but it's not the end all be all. When you look at a pump, the pump is a side effect of your training and is a byproduct of your training. For example, if I look at my forearm right here, I could do this 200 times, 300 times, and my forearm is gonna be pumped and my arm's actually gonna cramp. But is this an effective workout when it comes to building muscle mass? No, it's not. So we wanna avoid just chasing the pump, and you're gonna see a lot more progress. So that's gonna be the first one. The second dumb mistake that you're making is gonna be winging it when you go to the gym. I see so many people going to the gym just to get a workout in. They have no idea what exercise they're doing, they don't know how many sets, they don't know how many reps, or even what order they're doing it in. They're just jumping from machine to machine, from exercise to exercise, just doing a bunch of random different things. What this is gonna do, it's gonna create random stimuluses that you can't mimic workout after workout. So how are you ever gonna build muscle mass week after week? The third mistake is gonna be relying on soreness. So when you get a workout in, yes, soreness is very common and it does happen from time to time, but you should not be basing your workouts or your workout quality on soreness. For example, if I just stood up right now and I did 1,000 calf raises, my calves would be burning and they would 100% be sore tomorrow and the day after. But looking back at it, are these 1,000 calf raises gonna be an effective workout? No, they're not gonna be effective. Soreness is, once again, just like a pump, a byproduct of you training, and it should not be the end all be all of you deciding if a workout was effective or a workout is gonna build you muscle. Number 4 is gonna be doing crazy variations in the gym that are very unnecessary. For example, if you go on TikTok or you go on Instagram, you're gonna see the craziest exercises. People doing crazy ab exercises or doing crazy bicep exercises that are literally unnecessary. Sticking to the basics is not gonna get nowhere near the same amount of views on Instagram or TikTok compared to these crazy exercises. For example, hammer curls with a plate instead of a dumbbell. It makes no sense, but it's all over social media. And number 5, last but not least, in my opinion, one of the most important ones. This is gonna be picking random exercises. I'm not saying you have to be a professor when it comes to biomechanics or have a degree in kinesiology, but you need to know the fundamentals, or you need to know the basics of when it comes to building muscle mass and the anatomy of your body. For example, if you wanna hit the bicep and you really wanna grow your biceps, and all you're doing is hammer curls, that's a great exercise, but it's not gonna be directly hitting your bicep. For example, if one of your goals is to build big hamstrings and you think, a barbell back squat or a leg press is more than enough, you're wrong. Instead, what you wanna have is a seated leg curl, you're gonna have a lying leg curl, a hip hinge variation, whether that's an RDL or some sort of deadlift. You need to know all these things. That way you can build your program efficiently and effectively. Another example of this is when people are doing the incline dumbbell press on a way too high of an incline. They think the higher the incline, the more it's gonna hit their upper chest. In actuality, what it's gonna be doing, it's gonna be hitting more of the shoulder and the front delt. So knowing this basics of your anatomy and how your body works is gonna make a huge difference when it comes to building muscle mass and building your physique. So now that we're done with the 5 dumb mistakes that you're making in the gym, we actually wanna go over the 5 things. When you're picking a workout program, you wanna pick a workout program that you're able to hit week after week, whether that's 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, and pick a program that you enjoy. If you enjoy push-pull legs, that's awesome, stick to it. If you enjoy upper-lower, that's awesome, stick to it. Pick a program that you're able to do week after week for a minimum of 16 weeks. The second thing, once you pick your program, you wanna pick 5 to 8 exercises that you're doing with progressive overload. There's no need to do 10 to 15 exercises per workout. That's simply way too much. So pick 5 to 8 exercises, throw in a couple compound movements in there. For example, on your chest day, you could have an incline barbell press, a bench press, a military press. Your leg day, you could have an RDL, a stiff leg deadlift, or even a glute bridge, right? Pick compound movements that are gonna work well. And then with these exercises, you wanna be doing progressive overload. What is progressive overload? You're gradually getting stronger week after week after week. Strength is gonna be a big byproduct of when it comes to building muscle mass. So you wanna ensure that you're pushing yourself in the gym, and you wanna make sure that you're training close to failure or till failure. The third one is gonna be having good form and technique. Yes, strength is important when it comes to building muscle mass, and so is progressive overload, but you should not be sacrificing your form and your technique. You wanna make sure that your form is proper, that way you could get a good stretch, you get a good contraction at the top, and then also your risk of injury is very, very low, because the last thing you want is to hurt yourself in the gym, and that's gonna throw you off for a couple of months or maybe even a year, depending on how severe the exercise is. The second part of that is gonna be having a logbook. Well, having a logbook is very important, whether that's a physical logbook that you carry to the gym or whether that's an app. Measuring your progress every single workout is really, really important. That way you know where you are and you know what you need to do in that workout to have progress and create a stimulus for you to build muscle. The fourth thing is gonna be a calorie surplus. Nutrition is extremely important when it comes to building a muscle. For you to build muscle, we need to be in a calorie surplus of anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. Anything more than that, I would say is a little bit excessive. So I've heard of people having a calorie surplus of 500 to 1,000. This just leads them to put on a lot of body fat, which is not what you wanna do. Instead, what you wanna do is you wanna be in this gaining phase for as long as possible. And 200 to 300 calories is more than enough. Also, you can build muscle mass in a body recomposition, but it also depends on your training age. If you've been working out for longer than a year, I would recommend being in a surplus. But if you're in your first year of working out, a body recomposition is totally doable, and you could just be at maintenance calories and build muscle mass. And when it does come to having that surplus, you also want to make sure that you're prioritizing your protein. So having at least 1 gram of protein per body weight, that way your recovery is on point and you have all the tools that you need to build that new muscle mass and that new tissue. The fifth and final thing is going to be sleep and your recovery. You want to make sure that you're getting in 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. This is extremely important because this is where your body's actually going to grow. And then number 2, you're going to feel fully recovered. So next time when you go into the gym, you're able to train hard, number 1. And number 2, you're able to push yourself and do progressive overload to actually stimulate muscle growth. And that's that. You want to make sure you're doing those 5 things in and outside of the gym, and you're going to see a lot more progress when it comes to building muscle mass and getting your dream physique. All in all, I hope this brought you some value. If you made it all the way here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, thanks.